I have the Denver Broncos taking Bo Nix, but not at 12. I have them trading back because they lose out on the quarterback, sweepstakes in the top 5, and then they're sitting there at 12. Well, at that point, the Broncos are a team that they don't have a second round pick, so I think they're trying to move back and try to get a second round pick because that team's got more holes on the roster than I think a lot of people are willing to admit. Like Denver over the last couple of years has had a really nice roster on paper, but
Trevor, what holes do they have filled? I would actually put it to you that way. Like what?
That's fair. I think I think they've got CB1 locked down.
Yeah.
I still like their edge rushers. I do, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot more holes on this roster than I think people who are like, oh yeah, just go up and get a quarterback no matter what. Obviously, like you would like to upgrade over Jarrett Stidham, who is currently the starting quarterback, but they've got so many needs. So all that to say, I'm fascinated for what Denver does in this draft. Sean Payton's a madman. We know this. And so I think there's a world where he offers, 19 first round picks. You're not allowed to do that, but like to get up for a quarterback. But I don't know if he's going to really be able to match the price that say a New York Giants could, or that a Minnesota Vikings now could. So instead I have them trading back, going down 10 spots. I've actually got the Philadelphia Eagles popping up, and we'll get to the second part of that because I also want to talk about that trade because I like it. But in the 20s, I've got them taking Bo Nix. And in doing so, they also gain one of Philadelphia's second-round picks. So they're moving down 10 spots, and they get Bo Nix. And look, man, I like Nix. Mm-hmm. I do. I think Nix is a legit starting caliber quarterback at the NFL level. Do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl one day? I don't know. I mean, there's so many variables that go into you being able to do that. But over the last 2 years, I've been so impressed with Bo Nix. Yeah, okay, he's a little bit older of a prospect, but I'm going to be honest, I don't really care for quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks play till they're 38, 39 anyways now. Like, if you just, like, the position is so valuable that if you just tell me at any point you're going to be really good, who cares, right? Yeah, who cares if it's 29, right? How old was Geno when he was able to break out with the Seattle Seahawks? It didn't matter. It's not like people looked at Geno's success in Seattle and they were like, yeah, but he's old. No, it was just that he was good. He's a good quarterback. So I kind of think the same thing for Nix, where yes, he's a little bit older of a prospect. Yes, he's been in college for a long time. Yes, he's had a lot of time to develop, but he has. Mm-hmm. He has developed. You watch him operate that Oregon offense. It is so on time. It is so in rhythm. He knows where to look. The ball comes out of his hand with good velocity. I think his Bo Nix's arm talent, I think, is underrated at this point. People think that just because of the Oregon offense, he's just some dink and dunk, can only throw underneath type of a player. When you need Nix to step up and rip it, he can. It's not like the best arm strength you've ever seen. I'm not putting it up against Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or any of those guys, but the dude can rip it, I think, at an NFL level. So the arm strength is above average, well above adequate, if you ask me. And instead, when you check that box for him, you go, okay, he's got some decent mobility to him to pick up some first downs with his legs. Now, he's not a great dual. He's not going to be an elite dual threat, but he's going to be able to do that at the NFL level. He takes care of the ball very, very well. He is a good decision maker. The accuracy scores are fantastic. I wish he'd step up in the pocket and be a little bit more strong in the pocket instead of kind of veering back. And sometimes the footwork's not always married with the throwing motion, but that's all stuff that you can continue to fix with him. Right now, he's just a very confident passer, understands how to keep an offense on script. And when it comes to that combination of a quarterback with Sean Payton specifically, when we're talking about fits that I like that a ton, because I'm not saying that Bo Nix is Drew Brees, but what made Drew Brees in that Sean Payton offense so great is that Drew always knew where to go with the football. Always. He knew exactly what receiver had the best leverage, had the best chance of separation, had the best chance of making the catch against whatever the defense was. And I genuinely think Bo Nix can be that kind of a quarterback. I didn't say that caliber of a quarterback. Drew Brees is one of the greatest to ever play the game. But I think that he can have a great connection with Sean Payton too. We've already seen him master that Oregon offense. So to master an offense at the NFL level, and then you throw in some of the really nice traits that he has, that can be a starting caliber type of quarterback. So that's the connection that I like when it comes to where would we like Bo Nix in this draft? Maybe it's in the first round, maybe it's not. But if there's a world where he becomes the starting quarterback of the Denver Broncos, I like that head coach quarterback connection for those reasons.
Yeah, we started kind of talking about this on the last Mock Draft Monday with Field Yates about, Bo Nix, could he end up being a first-round pick? And even as we were having that discussion, I came to kind of a lot of the same conclusions you did, that he makes sense as a Sean Payton quarterback. So I really like the team player pairing here, but the one thing I have concerns about with this pick, Trevor, the trade down part. Do you know how many times the Saints traded down while Sean Payton was the head coach? Or do you know the last time they traded down since Sean Payton was the head coach? Off the top of your head.
If you told me it was never, I'd believe you.
It was 2007. What were you doing in 2007, buddy? That was the last time Mickey was traded down.
I was a sophomore in high school in 2007.
So yeah, not a strong history of trading down here. But that being said, I would like the move better if they traded down in the first round for Bo Nix, then maybe they take him at 12 overall. But
sure.
But you're right here that nobody is saying Bo Nix is going to be Drew Brees, but just like, I mean, shoot, is it fair to say he's more like late career Drew Brees, where there wasn't like really any vertical element to his game, where he wasn't?
No. I don't think the comp is noodle arm Drew Brees. I don't think it's that bad. No. Don't do that to my guy. Don't do that to my boy.
All right, fair enough. I just think like I'm just envisioning Sean Payton's offenses over the years, and
sure,
they were certainly more quick game focused. I'm not even saying like
that part. Yes,
I'm not even saying like noodle arm Drew Brees. I'm saying like when we started to get the slant boy stuff with Michael Thomas, because they were emphasizing quick game as opposed to those like early Saints offenses when they were run a lot of vertical stuff off play action and running the ball really well. But either way, regardless, like you've made me feel pretty good about this pairing here between Nix and Sean Payton, because I just can't imagine they're going to go into the year with Jarrett Stidham and like no one. I mean, Ben DiNucci's on the roster, like, and
there's no way, man.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It just would.
You are gunning for the number 1 overall pick if you're doing that.
Good luck with that if that's what happens. But I do like the Bo Nix pairing here, and it would be interesting. And hey, like I mentioned, the slant boy era of Sean Payton's offenses and not full noodle arm Drew Brees, but like late career Drew Brees, I can see that. And let me tell you what, they had Courtland Sutton running a lot of slants and crossers last year, and that's why he worked as the number 1 receiver in that offense. And I could see him and Bo Nix having a nice connection. And I mean, I would talk about the other receivers on that roster, but there's not a lot else to say about what's going on in Denver right now. But I like this Bo Nix pairing. But all right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the other side of that trade, how the Broncos got down at this spot. A historic trade for Sean Payton. He trades down right after this.